Hey, I'm just gonna let you know that Golden Gnome Awards nominations are open now, and please go vote for me because I literally don't have anything else in my life and a little fake shiny gnome means the world to me. Also, if I win, I will get a permanent tattoo of a gnome child on my body, so if you wanna see me suffer, go vote for the super funny, awesome, handsome, sexy Grebus on the Golden Gnomes, okay? Link is in the description. Okay, love you. Mwah. Some things in life are 100% certain to happen. Having to use the bathroom 4 in the morning, maybe giving out advice but then not following that same advice yourself. And I know for a fact you pretend to be good at singing when no one else is around. These are the things in life that are certain. But you know what else in life is certain? Old school RuneScape glitches. Those bad boys have been roaming Killenor for the past decade now, and boy, there is a lot of them. Because it turns out, if you add some tomato sauce to your spaghetti code, you get a delicious meal of bug abuse. Now, granted, just like in life, not all bugs are created equal. So for today, I'm gonna give you only creme de la creme, the best of the best, le meilleur of bugs. So without further ado, here is a solid 20 minutes of some of the biggest bugs and glitches in old school RuneScape history. And at the end, I actually have proof to showcase how bad things currently are in this game that not many players realize. And this is the end of old school RuneScape. Before we start though, shout out to number 1 bug in this game, the Galphite Queen. Sorry. I had to get that out of the way. You're not gonna believe this, but that's actually the only reason I'm making this video, for that one stupid pun. It's not even that funny, honestly. Okay, let's start. We're starting off with number 1 and my personal favorite, the Twisted Bow glitch. It is February 28, 2019. Old School RuneScape is going through its normal update phase. The Dragon Defender is now red instead of pink. Mining gloves work with amethyst, and the prayer skill guide now shows icons. Some call that revolutionary. My point is, life is good in the RuneScape scene, but few minutes after the update comes out, the word starts to spread that next to the farming guild, there is a Twisted Bow spawn happening right now, and immediately everyone starts running towards the spawn. One Twisted Bow enters the game every 60 seconds from the spawn point, and there was over 100 available words at the time, meaning every minute over 100 Twisted Bows, aka the most valuable item, enters the game. This is without a doubt the worst possible outcome. It took Jagex over 30 minutes to shut down the world, meaning throughout that time probably thousands of Twisted Bows were sold, causing the price to crash from 1.2 billion GP to few hundred million GP in a matter of hours. That kind of price drop has never happened before in this game. Jagex shuts down the worlds and players are like, okay, Jaggy Baggy, we had our fun, time to do the good old rollback and move on with our day. But Jagex is like, you know what, I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna do that. We're not gonna roll back the servers. Instead, we will try to catch every single player that picked up the Twisted Bow during that time. Yes, you heard that right. Jagex thought that they can catch thousands of Twisted Bows that spawned throughout those 30 minutes. Reddit and Twitter go mad. Everyone is like, you can't actually be serious with this, right? The price of a Twisted Bow plummeted to almost nothing. By the time tomorrow comes around, the economy is gonna be in shambles. You can't possibly track every bow that entered the game. What if someone sold the bow and bought bonds? What if someone staked it in Duel Arena or stashed it in Warcut and Saldra deposit boxes? What if you sell the bow and buy other valuable items? So it's quite literally impossible to account for every possibility, and it would ruin the most valuable item and, more importantly, the game forever. And lo and behold, after an hour of uproar, Jagex got hit by the post-nut clarity so hard that he had to write an entire manifesto on this glitch, and the too long didn't read was this. Okay, we did an oopsie doopsie, and after some consideration, we're gonna roll the servers back. Hardcore Ironmen who lost their status will gain it back, but won't be able to enter the high scores anymore. And voila, just like that, problem solved. There was a lot of speculation on what might have happened. Jagex themselves stated that an artist was working on a Sporibus next to the farming guild and messing around on the world builder and accidentally left a Twisted Bow spawn in after working on the boss itself, aka the classic Butterfingers. A lot of people thought it was an inside job, but since the servers were rolled back, no harm was done, allegedly. Of course, the players who took advantage of this situation got a temporary ban, and little did we know that this would start an avalanche of rollbacks later down the line. And no, despite this being my favorite bug that has happened, it's not the biggest. For that, we have to go even further back. So here is what happened 1 year before the Twisted Bow bug. Imagine a world where you can spawn max amount of GP yourself every few seconds, and if not handled immediately, it would ruin the game forever. Well, that used to be the case in old school RuneScape. On 12th of July 2018, another game update went live. This time we got multitude of quality of life changes, like the Gargoyle Slayer boss has less health now, few agility and farming buffs, and one of the most annoying updates we've ever had, the coin pouch has now entered the game. Jagex has stated multiple times that this is meant to be a counter measurement against simple bot scripts, but unfortunately it's always been in a way for legit players who now have to go through the massive hustle and headache of clicking one more time in their inventory. So the coin pouch enters the game, and unfortunately we got Jagex butterfingers again, and I'm not gonna bother you with the technical coding words, so the explain me like I'm 5 is that once you die in game, the coin pouch in your inventory turns into max cash, so within few seconds players got absolutely filthy rich. Just for comparison, if you did the most normal moneymakers these days, it would take you over 1000 hours to get this sort of cash, but for this bug, all it took was few seconds. So you see how we might have a teeny tiny problem on our hands. Once again, we did the good old server rollback, and just like always, it took few hours to fix the problem, and after the rollback was finished, everyone who abused this got permanently banned. Okay, maybe not permanently, temporarily at least, and all of their yummy stuff got taken away. Allegedly. The reason why I say allegedly is because we don't know. We really don't know. The things that have come out throughout the years are for the most part shocking to say the least. So the tinfoil hat on my head speaks otherwise, but I'm not trying to let that cloud my judgment for now. Until of course something else comes out and we can start pointing fingers again like we usually do. The next one on the list is actually one of the few glitches where the person who abused this got away with it, and he made probably thousands of dollars of real life money off this. And I think it's safe to say this is like some Ocean's 11 sort of heist where everything was particularly well thought out and the scheme worked perfectly. This glorious disaster happened on the Christmas of 2022. The person who found this glitch stated that he had known about it for quite a while now, but decided to act on it during Christmas because nobody at Jagex was working these days, meaning even if alarms were set up to detect this, nobody can really act on it fast enough, and surprisingly, it worked. The beginning of this actually started on the 30th of November when Jagex released a game update involving combat achievements. They gave us new rewards, and one of these rewards came from hard combat achievements. After you complete them, all of your imbues from Nightmare Zone and Soul Wars cost 50% less. So let's say a black mask costs 500 seals to imbue in Soul Wars, and if you wanna afterwards unimbue your black mask, you get 80% of the cost back, meaning 400 seals. So you lose 100 seals on it, but you get a refund. Well, what Jagex did was make the cost go to 250 seals to imbue after hard combat achievements are completed, but if you refund it, you still get the 400 seals back. You see the problem here, right? Basically this means every second if you imbue and then refund it, you get 150 seals. And to put that into perspective, you usually get around 300 seals on average per hour, but here you can get 300 seals in 1 or 2 seconds. Well, one person found out about it immediately after it went live, but didn't tell anyone. Instead, they decided to write a simple script and act on it during Christmas, like I stated before. So they wrote a simple script to get points, get loot, and then open that loot. That's it. And the script went live. According to the guy that did this, he got up to almost 3 million seals per hour, and I think it was even possible to get more than that, meaning this moneymaker could get you up to 10 billion GP per hour. Overall, he made 500 billion GP, which if you for instance accumulate that price into bonds that cost $7 per bond, that is almost $500,000 made within few days. Let me repeat that just so we're clear. $500,000 in bonds. Now granted, I would say this right now, he didn't get that much. Firstly, I don't think he managed to sell all of it. Secondly, the black market price is so much lower. And thirdly, Jagex did manage to act on it fast once it was found out and fixed it immediately, meaning it was abused for a very short time. But on the other hand, imagine being able to make down payments on your house or flat out buy an expensive car because you managed to profit off Soul Wars points in 1 or 2 days. A little side note, 1 month after the incident happened, something very similar happened in RuneScape 3 as well, where another bug abuser found a glitch in a minigame that caused an effect similar to our previous bug, and that got them over 700 billion GP per hour. So it's safe to say that the end of 2022 and the start of 2023 was a very bumpy ride for Jagex to say the least. I saved the best one for the last because I think this has actual real impact on the future of this game, not just one person buying a house of Soul Wars points. And yes, I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth right now. On the 27th of November 2019, World 501 crashed and completely shut down for a few minutes. Most players thought it was just a regular server lag like we get every week and thought nothing of it. But little did we know that one of the biggest bug abuses just happened and nobody including Jagex had any idea what was going on. So how did it happen? Well, there used to be a case when too many players log into one world, the servers start lagging and it oftentimes could crash if there is too many actions happening all at once. This has happened multiple times during drop parties, for instance, where thousands of players gather into one spot, make any random actions like lighting a fire, fletching a bow, doing an emote, trading, dropping items, whatever action is possible, and if enough people all do it at the same time, it used to crash RuneScape servers. The problem was that the game didn't know where to place your character after the crash, so it would either roll back your character back to where it was 15 minutes ago or roll it back to your last save point, which was when you logged in. And here is where the bug really came into play. What that allowed to do in simple terms was trade max cash from one account to another one, crash those servers, and the game rolls your state back to 15 minutes ago while you keep all the money on the other account, aka quite literally doubling your money. And the worst part is this could have been done for infinite amount of times, but it used to be extremely hard to crash an entire server. I mean, if you wanted to do this, you would need thousands of accounts and very specific clients that waste almost no resources running on virtual machines while simultaneously having all those accounts perform an action. It's impossible to do right now, and it was almost impossible to do a few years ago. But there was few people who tried and succeeded. They had all of the criteria filled out and actually managed to pull it off. 2,000 bot accounts gathered all in World 501 clan wars to crash the servers and duplicate the money every single time. They perform actions like attacking with different styles and equipping items which caused the entire server to go offline. They managed to get 6 billion GP on day 1 and over 100 billion GP on day 2, and then Jagex performed a server maintenance which solved the issue. Now, had this gone on for a few more days, it could have caused colossal damage to the economy of old school RuneScape. We're talking about trillions of GP, yes, with a T. It would have come to a point where after a few weeks, the game state and the gold in this game would have been worth absolutely nothing because of this bug. Now, why is this a problem? It seems a bug was found and fixed few days later with minimal damage done. Most of the footage you see is from Randy's video, who was one of the first people to discover this bug and tipped Jagex off. Jagex then fixed the bug and everything was fine. About 1 year later, there was some speculation that the same exact bug abuse was happening again with small different variations. So it turned out that it was indeed not fixed like everyone assumed it was. 6 months later, we get a post from Randy saying that they tipped off Jagex with paragraphs of text of the same thing happening again. And instead of working together on this, Jagex banned a total of 60 accounts between Randy and his friend, because according to Jagex, Randy was the one abusing a similar world crash bug that was showcased a few years ago, proving that indeed this has not been fixed. It was a lot of back and forth between everyone, and honestly, I don't think there was any good sides to this story. Everyone was at fault, except you, of course. You are perfect in every shape or form, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But for this particular instance, look, I don't want to bother you with 10 minutes of drama, because this is an entire topic on its own. So instead, I will put this entire story in the description, so if you want to read it, you can go ahead. My entire point for this is that everyone, including Jagex, thought this was fixed, but it turned out it was possible for another 2 years before it came to its conclusion. On that initial bug abuse, there was a comment made by ex-Jagex moderator saying this: "If only you knew how bad things really are." All of these glitches and bugs I showcased cause impressive amount of damage to the game, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's probably hundreds of bugs throughout the 10 years this game has existed, but we only know few of them. And this is the price you pay for playing a game that is about as old as Jesus. I will end the video with this. Some of these bugs are 100% gonna happen again, or even worse, new ones are gonna come out, and checkers can't fix them quickly enough. In the first 5 years of old school RuneScape, there was one single rollback that negatively impacted a lot of players, but on the next 5 years of old school RuneScape, there has been a total of 8 rollbacks. Yes, you heard that right, 8 rollbacks in 5 years. Now that is a very concerning number. To be honest, it could be just a wild coincidence, but I can't think of any other MMO or game in general that has had this many problems and issues within the game. Now there's only 2 things you can do as a viewer. Firstly, panic. Sell all your bank, cancel your subscription and stock up on toilet paper because the world is about to end. Or secondly, just chill. Just chill. I mean, it's a video game. Who cares? Nothing lasts forever anyways. Enjoy it while it does. Because trust me, you are not gonna be the one that buys a house of Soul Wars points. Yeah, I still can't believe those words exist. My name is Kribus and I'll see you again in a few days with another video. I love you all. Bye. Mwah.